business movie, The Jerk. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. I was just reminded today of a really great actor, writer, comedian extraordinaire, Mr. Carl Reiner, who just passed away, 98 years old. Lived a nice long life. Had just some amazing successes. One of the kind of off the wall all of his comedy was a little bit off the wall, but one of the ones that always sticks out in my mind, at least as an early viewer of and partaker of comedy, was The Jerk with Steve Martin. This was directed by Carl Reiner, and I believe, let me see here, did he also help write it? Nope, he didn't. He just directed it, but it has a lot of his flavor in it, and he does have a brief cameo in it. And most people just consider this as a goofy comedy. And it definitely is very off color today with a lot of its humor. I mean, you're talking racial humor, numerous amounts of N-words and other everything else said in it. But it's all done with the idea of making fun of racism, mocking a lot of the chaos around it, and it's a small part of the story. The overall story, and I'm not going to ruin this for you. If you haven't seen this movie, you need to see this movie. Now, I'm going to give it to you from a business perspective of why this movie is great. One thing that it portrays is Steve Martin. Once again, I'm not going to ruin anything, but Steve Martin goes through a process or I think they call it, does it say on here? Yeah, rags to riches to rags story. So the whole idea is that he's going through this process where he's built himself up from nothing. And it's not even in, it's only being in the right place. A lot of it has to do with being in the right place at the right time and not even being fully cognizant about what he was doing. But then getting way too cocky and making it all about him after he got to the point to where he had some huge success. And this is very common, not to this level, obviously, in most cases, but it's very common in business. And if you haven't gone through that process yourself, you no doubt have seen it in other people to where they really think that there's something hot when they've hit it big, to whatever extent, to whatever they consider to be big. And it may not be what you consider to be big, but they consider that they've made it. And so they know it, and they know their stuff, and they can tell everybody about it. Now, you say, well, Brian, you're a business strategist. How can you sit here and tell us that people shouldn't say what they think they know? Well, in my case, I'm perfectly honest about the fact that most of the stuff I know is completely taken from the books I've read and the small amount of experience I've had in life, on Earth for the last 40 years or so. I'm 41. And so you can always mock humanity because we all think we know it all to a certain extent. This takes it to the ultimate extreme. And it's not the greatest movie of all time. It's just a goofy, funny movie that I grew up with. And I like the business perspective. I like how they're able to take a gimmick and turn that gimmick into a huge fad and be able to make tons of money off of it, and then have a very simple situation turn a lot of that around. You'll see it when you watch it. Watch The Jerk in terms of your business mind and see what you're able to pick out. I'd love to see what your thoughts are on it. I know a lot of those of you who are out there who have seen it 100 times like I have. You could start right off the bat and tell me what you think of it from a business perspective. That's what I'd like to hear. So that's a quick review for tonight. I'm going to have more reviews in the future, not only of classic movies, but sometimes maybe even movies you've never even heard about, and not just documentaries. Anything that has a tie back to business or discusses business principles, I think is just fabulous, and I think it's a good thing for us to watch and watch with friends and be able to pick these things out and talk about these issues. Because even if it's a goofy comedy, you can oftentimes get some really good stuff out of it. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Hey, go check out the Amazon Proof Strategy session. If you're a business owner or executive and you're looking to take your business and really improve cash flow while at the same time decimating your competition, then you're going to want to be basically what I call Amazon proof. You want to be so resistant to competition that even Amazon.com can't beat you. Go check out brianjpombo.com/Amazon. That link is in the description, and see if you qualify for the Amazon proof strategy session. We'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.